triple linguistic trap. All right, so there's a communication crisis most people can't see because they're standing on one side of it. Autistic people face what I call the triple linguistic trap. Caught between three incompatible ways of using language, each claiming to be correct and each making real connection nearly impossible. But this isn't just about autism. What's happening reveals something broken in how all of us communicate, and there's a hidden mechanism making it worse, turning simple misunderstandings into active harm. Let me show you how this works. Part 1, the three ways of talking. Think about how doctors and academics communicate. Lots of jargon, formal tone, indirect phrasing. You're expected to read between the lines, catch subtle clues, demonstrate you belong to their world through how you speak, not just what you say. This is high context language. The meaning isn't just in the words, it's in status signals, implied knowledge, social performance. Now think about online meme culture. Short phrases seem simple and accessible, but every meme carries layers of irony, inside jokes, references that shift consistently. This is fine. It means nothing is fine. Words routinely mean their opposite. You need to intuitively feel the meaning through cultural vibe, not decode it logically. This looks low context, but actually isn't. It's high context disguised as simplicity. Autistic communication sits between these. It operates on a different principle. Words should reliably mean what they say. Intentions should be stated, not performed. Communication should serve understanding, not status or social games. This is genuinely low context, explicit, stable, clear. Here's the problem. Both extremes treat this middle ground as defective. The medical world sees explicit communication as immature or socially incompetent. Meme culture sees it as missing the joke, being too literal. Neither recognize it as simply optimizing for different values, prioritizing clarity and honesty over performance. So autistic people get squeezed from both sides, too direct for formal spaces, too sincere for casual ones. The very things that could bridge both worlds, clear, honest communications, gets pathologized instead. 2. Why this becomes harmful. Here's what transforms this difficult from something difficult to destructive. This is where it goes from, caught in a rock place to, being stuck in the diamond press, where, autistic people are neurodivergent people, we're all coal being pressed into diamonds with the pressure of society. So that's where we're feeling a little, emotionally overstimulated recently with this, screwed up world, all these depressed, negative people. So anyway, let me get back to it. Uh, Here's what transforms this from difficult to destructive, something called the double empathy problem. Research from Damian Milton showed that autistic and neurotypical people don't fail at empathy generally. They fail to empathize across different communication styles. The breakdown goes both ways, but we only treat one direction as a disorder. Watch what happens. An autistic person speaks plainly and directly. A neurotypical listener expects status signals and emotional subtext. They don't hear those, so they conclude the autistic person is rude or socially impaired. Meanwhile, when neurotypicals use irony or implicit meaning, autistic people take them literally or get confused by the contradiction. The neurotypical person concludes that autistic person lacks social understanding. Both sides experience the same empathy failure, but only autistic people get diagnosed with an empathy deficiency. This creates a feedback loop, a negative feedback loop, I'll say. Miscommunications gets blamed on autism. That blame becomes medical evidence. Medical systems treat autistic people to mask and perform neurotypical communication. This doesn't create real understanding. It just forces autistic people to do all of the translation work. More exhaustion and breakdown, which looks like more evidence of dysfunction. Every attempt to help strengthens the system that misunderstands them. It's like a social autoimmune response. The system attacks the very thing that could restore healthy communication. Part 3, the bigger picture. This matters beyond autism because both ends of our communication spectrum are collapsing right now. Medical and academic language has become so jargon heavy and status focused that it often fails at its actual job, advancing understanding. It's become obscurantism, maintaining authority. Digital meme culture has become so semantically unstable that words are losing reliable meaning altogether. Skibidi! Skibidi! Fucking A, man. Fucking A. So it's not just playful anymore. It's eroding our ability to share stable meaning with each other. Between these two breakdowns, elite gatekeeping and memetic chaos, autistic communication represents something we're collectively losing. The belief that language can reliably mean things, that we can understand each other through honest, explicit sharing. That's not a deficit, that's potentially the way through. Part 4. What this means. A healthy communication ecology would include all three modes: emotional nuance, creative play, and semantic clarity, with people able to move between them and translate across them. But that requires something we're bad at: recognizing that communication differences aren't one sided failures. If you're autistic and exhausted from constantly translating yourself while others don't translate back, that's a systemic problem being misdiagnosed as your personal defect. If you're a neurotypical person working with autistic people, those communication difficulties aren't one-sided impairments. You're probably not doing your share of the translation work. And for everyone, we've broken something very important. We've lost the faith that clear, honest communication is sophisticated, we've lost faith that clear, honest communication is sophisticated rather than simple. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, when you understand each other, it is sophisticated because you could advance your understanding, you could communicate, you could evolve your language, you could evolve your thinking. It's reciprocal, you know? So this is a terrible crisis we're all facing right now. Like, I don't get how nobody's freaking seeing this. Like, once I had this epiphany and got this all written down, I had a depression for a few days, man. I'm like, I want to be crying for every autistic and neurodivergent person because this is fucked, man. Like, this is fucked. So, let's get back. Uh, and for everyone, we've broken something important. We've lost faith that clear, honest communication is sophisticated rather than simple. We've confused directness with coldness and clarity with immaturity. Which is funny because that's now how I view these doctors and academics, man. I'm like, oh my god. Ego and performance and fake bullshit and pseudo-intellectualism. So anyway, autistic people aren't failing to adapt to the system. They're showing us what we've lost: the possibility that words can mean things reliably and that we can genuinely understand each other. That's not a symptom to fix, that's a model to learn from. Closing. The triple trap exists because we fractured it into incompatible linguistic worlds: elite formality, memetic chaos, and honest clarity, and we decided only one of them is broken. But the real dysfunction is in the systems that refuse to translate, that demand assimilation instead of mutual understanding. Recognizing this doesn't just help autistic people, it helps all of us recover the capacity for genuine shared meaning before we lose it entirely. The question is whether we'll listen before it's too late. Thanks for watching. So, and yeah, this is just freaking heavy stuff, man. It gets me thinking about like The Tribe, that show I watched recently. You know, one of my first videos was on that, and you know, it gets me thinking about that, the ontological, you know, breakdown, the existential. Just, you know, people can't get a sense of meaning anymore, whether it's language, whether it's faith. Like, people are losing all sense of meaning. We're freaking becoming monkeys. We're devolving. Like, what the hell is going on to our species? It is confounding. Like I am perplexed. So, yeah, and I'll definitely be deep diving and getting into this stuff more because it gets me thinking about postmodernism and its impact on, you know, autism diagnosis and all these different, you know, things. And it's just flabbergasting that in 2025, you know, and even with all this Trump and far right, you know, nationalism sweeping the globe, it's mind-boggling that people can be this way. Like, that they can't get it, man. That the professionals, the smart people, the elite, what they really are is they're fucking lazy. I'm sorry to say it, but they're freaking lazy. Because communication, man. Like, are you gonna raise your child and never speak to them? Never have a conversation? I mean, that's what we're doing here. This is insanity. Like... But anyway, I just had to freaking share that because there is a big problem with linguistics and semantics and, you know, language as a whole and how we're using it and where it's going and what things are going to look like. Because right now it looks like we're heading toward a hyper, splintered, fractal world. Like we're going back to segregation, and this is like not cool. Like, and it seems like we're going back to segregation from a leftist perspective. Like the right, far right nationalists are doing all their crazy shit, but pretty soon the liberals and leftists are gonna start doing shit like this, and it's just, oh my god, oh my god, what the fuck? Why are people like this? I guess this is just like my, like, I've had a year of, or a few years of being a trans dualist, trans theist now, and there's not a fucking single person on this planet I could really fucking talk to online or anything. There's just all the algorithms, the way people connect nowadays, everything's antisocial. It's fucking impossible. Like, I don't give up my faith that good things will happen. I have optimism in the universe. I don't have hope. Hope is an enemy. Faith is good. Hope is an enemy. Hope is ego and psychological, man. Don't fuck with the hope. But the faith, man, the faith is good. Yeah, you got that good true faith. You found your logos. You're working with Dharma, man. Prime. But yeah, just flabbergasting, man. I'm like, we really are just turning into some giant reality show sci-fi dystopian, like freaking we got the 70s dystopians mixed with in the 80s dystopian films, all that stuff mixed with the freaking reality television and Big Brother and all this crazy stuff, because this is not good, man. This is not good. So yeah. I was having a thought, but I was losing it. I'll see if the dance comes back to me, if Agnoia and Sophia come back my way, or if whatever fucking spirits are getting in the way, fuck off. But I got a moment of ADHD there. I lost my train of thought, man. Train derailment disaster, man. Like, mass casualty event. For reals, man. You ever think about those fucking movies with like the little people in your head and stuff, Osmosis Jones, or like the cells at work, It's like, yeah, man. Like I feel bad for my guys. They work so hard they just die. They're not even slaves, but or they're not. They might be served. I don't know what you would classify, cells in your body working, if they have sentience and what the hell not. But I feel bad for the fuckers, man. They got like a fucking Sisyphilian death task, like. Fuck, man. I'm just going all out there now. But that's what happens when you get 5 hours of sleep and you have two stressful days and freaking you're fucking taking some downers to slow your brain. But guess what? I actually arrived at a state of rest for the first time in like freaking forever. I'm calm and relaxed, and I'm getting my dance back because of it. I'm getting these little epiphanies going. I'm getting these little freaking things. Because, yeah, I really am concerned about the younger generations. It's like, I want to fucking teach them, but it's like, this goes beyond pedagogy, man. Like, this is like beyond ontology. Like, this is some new stuff. So, I don't know, man. Anyway, I think that's good. I'm good for this one for now. So, Sage DeForest, signing out.